Hello, welcome to the show. Let's see, it's another one of my diary entries for the late bloomer, and I have 5 minutes to spend talking about I have no idea what today. And this is going to happen from time to time. My entries are going to be boring, and you can just skip it if you want. But I don't know, this might not be boring. We'll see. Uh, Today, I don't have any big plans. Maybe I should. I deal a lot. I've built a lot of freedom into my life recently, and I find myself with a lot of free time. And I feel guilty about it. That's one of the things I deal with all the time is a sense of guilt. Why aren't you doing more? Why aren't you doing this? Well, I'm not doing it because I choose not to because I don't need to. Right now, I'm living a lifestyle that's very inexpensive. It's designed to be that way. And I'm able to support myself without any significant difficulty so far. That's awesome. And it's also empowering because, well, let's face it, we create our own holes when we go out and we spend, and buy this cool thing and that cool tool or whatever the heck it is we're buying. Um, and yet that stuff adds up. And then we end up having to work and work and work just to pay for our impulses. I still buy things. Not as much. And I'm really health conscious. I buy a lot of supplements and I have medications I take. Sometimes I'll splurge and I bought a Black Friday program about how to please women, sexually. And it was from some woman, some sex therapist, and all the tricks and things to satisfy a woman. I've usually had pretty good luck with that, but hey, I'm open to learning. And it was like everything she's ever taught for the price of one program, and it was Black Friday, so I bought that, and that was probably my biggest splurge this year. Um, but other than that, uh, uh, I'm living pretty simply but comfortably. I do what I want to do. I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything. I think that's important. If you feel like you're sacrificing and like you're on a diet, you're going to rebel. At some point, your system is going to rebel. You can't use willpower to push yourself through constantly. You have to have release. What I've found that's been very helpful is my dailies, what I call my dailies. My dailies, and I may have mentioned this before, are a series of activities that I do every single day. And I do use willpower and discipline to make those happen, but I keep them small and very simple. One of them is a 5 minute video every day, sort of like a writer needing to write every day. Um, and then others are certain exercise activities, and some other like health related, even beauty related activities. Um, yes, I'm so lovely. Yes. But basically taking care of myself, and things that I at some point decided I need to do this. There's some One thing I do is I beat pillows with a tennis racket. That's something which sounds crazy, but it actually is a great way to take out anger. Even if you don't think you're angry, there's some anger in there. There always is frustration, anger. And one of the safest, easiest, most harmless ways you can express that anger is to use a tennis racket on a pillow and beat the living shit out of it. And that's what I do every day. Every day I just picture somebody, usually the same person, I won't say who, and or something, and I beat the shit out of it. It usually only lasts less than a minute, and until I feel like I've expressed myself for the day, and then I move on. It's just one of the things I do, and um, it's funny. I exercise, but I end up more breathless after beating the pillow. It's like I think it just digs down deep. And that was really important because I used to be the guy who could not express anger. I couldn't, I had problems with boundaries, maintaining my boundaries. This is because of childhood trauma. And I had a real difficulty in getting angry at people because I was afraid of my anger and because I was taught as a child I wasn't allowed to be angry. So, we all are taught bad lessons and we learned about them and then we learn how to deal with them. And this pillow beating thing did not come from me. This came from my coach. This is tried and true techniques that have been, used by many people. I went to a program one time and it was outdoors. Part of it was outdoors and we were beating the dirt with sticks. It was the same thing. It's really important in our culture today where any sign of aggression is looked down on, and masculinity is never spoken the word almost ever without the word toxic in front of it. And it's basically we're told that any expression of anger is barbaric, is unhealthy, is mean, evil. Now, certainly expressing it towards others can be damaging, although sometimes it's appropriate, but harmless expression in ways that exorcise or at least exercise that out of you a bit, help you to process physically that emotional feeling that is natural and healthy. It's natural and healthy to be angry. It's normal. To deny it is simply to repress it and it comes out in unhealthy ways. So, um, I adopted this into my dailies practice. And it's important to keep your dailies, if you do this kind of program, short, very simple, extremely achievable. Something that is so darn easy, you can't justify not doing them. And yet, each one of them, each one of the things that you do during your dailies is something that you really need to do, that you need to do, that you've been wanting to do. Exercise, for example, I do something very quick, very simple, but I do it every day. So I don't try to overwhelm myself or try to do too much. I just do it consistently. And over time, my body has changed. My muscles are building. I can see it. But it takes time. It's slow, but I'm not in a hurry. And that's the process that has worked for me. So, something for you to consider. And that's enough for today. And until tomorrow, have a great time.